Hello, I'm Sam Highfield, a VFX supervisor, and I'd like to tell you a story about how I caught one of my VFX artists taking 10 hours to do a task when really it should have taken 20 minutes. So anyway, I was on a project and we were really in the thick of it and had lots of artists sending me shots left, right and center. So yeah, very good, this one's approved. This one, I'll just circle it, fix that there, try this. And then one of my artists, he sent me a shot where everything was great except for the tracking. So I said to him, shot's great, everything about it is fine, but can think of another method to fix the tracking, okay? So what I never say is, can you just take another look at this? Because that doesn't help anyone, does it? So he said, okay, I'll do another shot. And then he sent me another version, and then another version, and then another version, and then another version. And I could see the guy was getting, frustrated, and I could see we weren't really getting any closer. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make a little mini project of helping this guy. So I said to him, okay, let's show me your project, show me the software. Well, actually show me how the actual mechanics of how you've put the shot together. So we opened it and we took a look, and I could see the technique that he was using for the tracking. And I said, okay, why don't we try this other method that's quite radically different? So we tried it, together, and sure enough, we managed to get, a bang-on result, and it took us about 20 minutes, okay? And then I said to the guy, okay, be honest, how long did it take you using the other method? And he said, I'll be honest, Sam, like I said at the beginning of this video, it took me about 10 hours. I thought, oh. Okay, well, at least it's done now, we can move on. And the thing is, this was a really smart guy as well. Probably smarter than I am. And I was thinking, how does this happen where even at the high end, when you're working with these really great, accomplished people, how is it that you have such a massive fall off in terms of productivity? Because, let's think about how many times does 20 minutes go into 10 hours? 30, right? So I thought, forget VFX, what kind of industry could sustain a 30x difference in labor? Let's say if you were building like a bridge or a ship, if everyone was doing, let's imagine all the artists were doing that, where it was taking 30 times longer, and it would derail any kind of project, could even bankrupt a company, right, if that was sustained. So I thought, right, there must be a way of fixing this, of how we get these smart people, but the productivity is still going off a cliff, right? So I've come up with a solution, because it's my personal principle to never complain about something unless I can offer a better solution. So this is what I've thought of. I made this nice paper chart here. And yes, I have concealed something behind a paper door, which I'll reveal later. So basically, this is like when you're approaching a visual effects shot, or maybe any kind of work really, where there's a degree of, say, problem solving. Because I think a lot of VFX is kind of like problem solving. So basically, you start off with a shot, and then you're given what you have to do with that shot. So you try different techniques. So we try, okay, I'm looking at this and I'll use this technique, and then that works. And then, okay, then I'll try this. Okay, and that's working. Then I'll try this technique, and well, maybe that didn't work. So I'll come back here, try something else. Okay, that's working now. So then you go to the next step. And this is basically, I think, you're thinking. And you're going and going and going. And then after a while, you start getting to the point where all the way down here, I'm not sure if you can see that, but those like little X's at the bottom. And that means that you've tried this shot, it's not really right, but I think I spent so long and getting tired, getting frustrated, getting aggravated now. So I'll just do it and hopefully it's good enough. But there's a significant problem with it. And then this gets a rejection here. And then you take a step back, try something else. That doesn't work. Okay. And then you're doing version 1, and then version 2, and then version 3, and then version 4, 5, 6. And hopefully you don't get into double digits, Someone's probably screaming at the screen saying, I've got into triple digits, but hopefully not. So, and the thing is, the worst thing is if it's actually like the VFX supervisor who's rejecting these, because even though you may have had a very difficult shot, it's not great to be seen by the boss, to be having your work rejected over and over again. Even though it's maybe a really difficult task, it doesn't look that good on you, does it, when things are being rejected over and over again? So what's the solution? Okay, basically taking one step backwards and one step forwards. And the solution, I think, is that you've got to take a break, take many steps backwards. You've got to come all the way back up here. And you've got to really take a break. You've got to get your headspace away from the work. So ideally, you get away from the computer, okay? You get away from the workplace, you go for a break. If you're remote working, that's obviously very easy because you can just go for like a run in the park or whatever. Or if you're in an office environment and you want to take a break, so listen, it's not working. A good VFX supervisor, if they haven't already caught you here, okay, which hopefully they have caught you before this point, but they should realize that you're frustrated. Nothing's gonna, no more work, the solution is not going to be down here, okay? So they should let you go for a break because it's just, the answer isn't down here by grinding further down here. It's not there. So basically you come all the way back up, and typically what you find is that when you, like with many things, once you concentrate on something so intensely and then you just forget it, you move away from it, and then the answer just comes to you. You think, hang on, why don't I just try this here? Why don't I just try that method? That would definitely work, wouldn't it? So you come all the way back up here, make a different decision earlier on in the chain, and then you make a few well-considered moves, and then bum, 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 and there you go, you have the solution. So, and then when you're at this point, you have this wonderful, euphoric feeling where you think, well, why didn't I just try that in the beginning? Why didn't I think of that before? All that time. And the thing is, it just takes some, courage to do this, because if you have like done this thing here, all this has been paid for in terms of time and effort. And I think that's why people don't want to come back up here. Because I think we've gone too far with this now. We're going to have to keep on going. You're going to have to keep on grinding at it and everything like that. And then you're going to have to keep moving down this direction here. But you've got to have a lot of emotional intelligence to realize you're in this, what I call the abyss of misery. You've got to realize that you're down here. And then you think, well, you've got to go all the way back here. Now, this has been paid for in time and money. But you have got to do it because there is no solution further down here. Okay. And then just like a really good chess player, they can win the game by taking the minimum number of well-considered moves. Okay. And I think that's how you become better at the work you do, right? Because you don't become more productive by just working faster, by moving your hand on the mouse quicker or moving your fingers quicker over the keyboard. It's through making those few well-considered strategic moves early on that takes the shortest path to the solution, because this is a lot shorter. This is happy, we're well valued here. We've used our knowledge and experience to travel on the shortest path to the solution. This here, which is always a much longer route, this is where we're getting stressed, we're losing our hair, we're thinking things, I hate this job. A lot of poisonous things come from it. This is also where we do, spending loads and loads of time. It's where we have to tell our partners or our families, sorry, I'm working late. Again, it's taking all the hours to put strain in relationships. There's loads of sacrifice and everything. It's a horrible place to be, but by going in the shortest route to the solution, that's where there's a lot of happiness, a lot of productivity, and everyone wins. You win, and the production wins, everyone wins. And I'd like to finish this on a quote from Abraham Lincoln, where he said that if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I spend the first 4 hours sharpening my axe. Okay, and that's from a quote from someone far wiser than I am. Anyway, I'm Sam Highfield, a VFX supervisor. Consider hiring me for your next project. Send me an email. That email will be somewhere on this video. Send me a message and we can get a nice conversation going about your project. Okay, that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.